Son, can you change the channel? Okay, Dad.
Should I join the war?
You should join the war
Why?
to sacrifice and protect our own country in order to do the patriotic duties. You know, combat infantrymen returning from the war often said they kept fighting to get the war over so they would go home. And yes, you will go home no matter what. With honor.
Sounds good.
So come join the war. Don't be a coward and fight for our country.
Dad, I want to join the war!
No, listen, son. You see?
I was only 20 years old when World War I broke out in 1914. It was terrifying. We lived in dirty, maggot-infested trenches with humongous rats, and amongst these sick and multi crew. These soldiers were so tired, and many of them had lost their combat boots. Yet they continued on despite their bare and bleeding feet. Constant explosions, gunfire, and the smell of sulfur gunpowder always hung in the air, having everyone to fear constantly about the vicious chlorine gas and shrouded menace of typhoid. I remember once there was a soldier who had been left behind and struggled through putting on his gas mask and helmet when there was an urgent warning about poison gas. Meanwhile, others fumbled with their gas masks, getting them on just in time, which would have saved their life by filtering out the toxins. I will never forget how the dying soldier's eyes were filled with fear, coughing up blood, and their ruined lungs suffering. It was a miracle that I survived, son. Over 17 million lives have been massacred, 17 million different accounts of war which we will never hear.
Don't be fooled by the lies, young child. The lies of promise of a good life and glory. The lies of at least getting a well-earned death. The life in war is a life of hardship, anguish, and misery. The dangers in war are infinitely countless. Each bullet shot is a well-aimed one. You won't have tales to tell others unless you have a limb blown off. And no one wants to take care of an amputee that will burden her. You already have trouble sleeping right now, son. How will you be able to sleep in war? Sounds of artillery shells and supersonic booms and of the bullet fill the battleground every second. You have trouble walking with shoes. How will you fare if you have to trudge barefoot in the sharp ground of the battlefront filled with shattered glass, splinters, and shrapnel?
You see, son, this is the truth about war.
Dad, but I still want to join the war.